of this epic simulation India, where it's going to be the Millennials fighting it off with the Gen Zs. We're just about to go live with qualifying as all the cars are on track, and we're going to have a pretty exciting one here as the guys are all on their outlaps. It's the amazing Tokyo, and everyone's in the Mazda Roadster. It's going to be beautiful, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to see some high intense action as we just are with Hershey's at this point, just to have a look at where everyone is. So yesterday was an epic race, and we've got everyone who battled it hard yesterday, and we're going to see some fun action here with quali just beginning. So let's just stick with Hershey's here to see what kind of sector times are we looking at as quali of round 2 has been initiated. This is going to be fun. I hope my buddies can join in. Not sure if it's a good idea for Duki to be in the tow of Vishal, but I'm not sure of how good it is in terms of dirty air. But as we are with Duki at this point, and we're seeing that he's closely training, but I'm sure his corners will be compromised. So let's quickly look at our drivers while Hershey's is, and including everyone behind, are on the flyers. We've got Ashkas, just about grazes the ball there, then followed by Dan, who also manages to graze the ball. Vijit, daring guy, fast guy, was hit by a bunch of penalties there last night, but nevertheless it's going to be fun. Abdus, our 14-year-old champion, a lot of hopes from him. Modi guarantee as well, had a bit of a topsy-turvy race. We've got Qualified, who's joined us for today's race. Flash having a bit of a slide there, showing his drifting skills with Advancify, and Rahul, who's pretty much started his outlap. So as we are here with Hershey's, who's pretty much just about to sum up the first set of quali laps. Let's look at the benchmark time that's been set by Hershey. There's a 146, so just about staying ahead by from everyone else. So I think Clean Air definitely playing its part over here. Beautiful sunset, if not dawn, I'm not entirely sure, but it seems like sunset at this point. And yeah, it seems like it's going to be a fun bit, long laps for sure, as Hershey's just about crosses the start-finish straight to set up a lap time of a 2:15 1.2. So interesting. Vishal about 7 tenths behind there. So all the boys setting in the first set of laps here. Now fuel wear and tire wear will be a factor, as you can see Abdul immediately just jumps into the pits, just making his exit right there. So and qualified as well. So big gaps is Dan. Dan just about nearly got compromised there and collected there by Modi Gandhi, but ever so wisely. So clearly with Duki also being in it, I think the dirty air just didn't help him. So these guys would want to create a bit of a cushion and ensure that there are certain gaps. And advanced by here, let's just stick with them. With beautiful livery there, sporting the iconic Mazda 787B livery from the Le Mans races back in the day. Rahul just about started his lap, so while all these things are happening, I think the guys are just sort of going for it. Abdus being the only one entering the pits, or no, I think Abdus is also on track, so just a glitch there. apologies for that, guys. Just had to ensure all the setups are in place. It's going to be interesting here. Where does it put Rahul? So Askas on 216.6, Duki still about improving with a 217.17, and a bunch of action taking place, but pretty straightforward qualifying there. Dan still just about finding more like a wildcard entry on Dan's end at this point. So once again, I'd like to reiterate that all the guys have just been notified about the regulations in about half an hour or so. Let's have some fun here while the boys are finding out their pace. Let's enjoy the cockpit view with Hershey, who's currently leading the pack with Abdul closely behind us. Hershey, look at that, almost half a second up on his sector times at this point, as he is just about to enter the final sector and trying to keep it clean just about. You can see grip is not as straightforward as it seems, just about holding it on track there. A lot of understeering moments, so immediately the guys are having to adapt with tire wear and fuel wear. What is the kind of improvements? I am Rahul, look at that, what a sensational jump by I am Rahul to take up provisional pole. As Hershey does improve, but not so significantly. So Rahul making the most of it. Not sure if there's any factor of track evolution here, but definitely going out there at the end is making a difference, as Askas also improves his time. What about the others? Is there anyone else? Abdus is on an outlap and he's passed by Vijit, so the guy's keeping it clean, which is good. And Vijit making the most of that toe, and this will not help Abdus at all. I'm sure Vijit will also be on a fast lap, and Abdus, while wanting to take advantage of the toe as much as he can, Vijit sort of telling him that, hey bro, I'm giving you space, so why don't you just move out of the way before I compromise your lap. But Abdus selecting better of it, making the most of the toe, will go down the inside, and I am not liking how this is going to turn out, as neither of the guys will want to compromise, and we've got a slow driver up ahead, so this is definitely not going to help. But Dan doing the right thing here in staying out. What a beautiful shot. The colors of this circuit, mind I say, the organizers have done a great job in keeping sunset going into night time. Still no one being able to like really beat Rahul's time. What about Flash? Drastic improvement there, as advanced also improves, but nothing major at this point. All the guys sort of look at that Vijit losing a second there, so the toe definitely not helping. I think these must be certain learnings that the guys can take. And Vishal is down in P7. Look at that, surprising names at the back there. Motiki Guarantee at P9. Qualified another fast chap is down in P10. Duki Atma is in P11. But I'm expecting him to improve drastically. He's a smart chap. Cannot underestimate him. But if I'm not wrong, and if it's a 10-minute qualifying session, then I'm not sure if Duki has enough time to really improve on his lap times at this point. As Hershey picks up pole, I'm so sorry for missing that out, but Hershey picks up pole by just about 5 thousandths there, so just about doing enough. As where is Abdus at this point? Abdus is also on an interesting lap. I'm not sure of his sector times at this point, but from the looks of it, having a bit of a slide. These slides will just not help him. So we definitely crossed the 10-minute mark. Maybe qualifying sessions have been extended for this particular session. 215. So Abdul's not improving there. Vijit, okay, yeah. So I think with the blinkers on, so that's a sign that probably quali's over for these guys. Rahul and Hershey still on flyers, and yes, the final laps have been initiated, and quali comes to an end just like that. So let's just quickly go through the results. Hershey's is up in P1, Rahul's in P2, Abdus is in P3, Flash is in P4, Vijit in P5, Advanced 5 in P6. Strong gaps there. The top two beating the entire grid by almost a second. So clearly they figured something out that the other guys have to ensure that they get it. And the gap going to as much as 3 seconds. Dukhi Atma 2.7 seconds behind is absolutely shocking. So I think they're being appreciated by the admin, my co-host from yesterday's race, Galaxy. So yes, Nanish, this was quali, and I think soon we're going to be starting our race as well. So yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting, and Modi Guarantee providing some updates on quali in the meantime. So not sure if people have been keeping a check, but some quick news that Lando Norris has managed to crash, and I really hope that doesn't add a further dent into his confidence for tomorrow's race, because the McLarens were looking extremely fast. And yeah, I do agree that that was a fast-paced qualifying session by Hershey's and Rahul to be in the 214s and have such a big gap. So yes, we're all set to start the race now, guys. It would be interesting to see what your top 3 predictions are going to be like. I wouldn't be surprised if taking our observations from yesterday's race, if the race had a completely different result as compared to who the guys were in the top 3. So yes, we've got a bunch of millennials as we are with the guys up front. As, the blinkers are on. We're waiting for the start lights to signal in. There you go. As Hershey's gets a good launch, a really good launch there, and it seems like there's no action as such at the back. A little bit of argy-bargy action at the back, but Hershey's with a fantastic launch. Rahul coming under a little bit of pressure, and likewise is Abdul Salam. So clean getaway for both these guys. Flash makes a move for PT, but just about hesitated. All the guys at the back sort of keeping it clean. So T1 was a bit of a challenge, but Abdus and Flash immediately, and Flash makes the jump to move up to T3. Now let's have a look at how good the draft will be. Let's also stick with the guys up front to see what the moves are going to be like. As Abdus and Flash think about it, they think about making moves, but just about make the best of it. As so far it's been good. We're going almost 3 wide. Flash just having a bit of a squirmish moment, a bit of a tap there. Advancify just about nudging Abdus. The admins have made it pretty clear that there are no more push fast. Advancify thinks about going down the inside, so we're just going to be with him as he gets a clean getaway on Abdus, but Abdus is just about holding the outside line. So Abdus not making it easy for Flash at this point. So let's just have a look at it. As you can see, there's Abdus right there with Vijit trailing him right at the back. So a long pressure. Abdus has had a moment compromise both as Vijit makes the move for P4, and immediately advanced by losing 2 more positions in the process. So a lot of action happening already as Modi Guarantee moves up to P7. So it's been a good start for him. And Abdus moves down all the way down to P8. So I'm just going to quickly ensure that yes, we've got our timing markers in place as we can monitor live distances also. Quickly going through the order, Hershey's and made a super gap there, almost 2 seconds on Rahul at this point, who's also built a strong gap of about 1.5 seconds on Flash. As Vijit somehow holding back onto P4 with Vishal moving up to P5. Modi Guarantees had a good launch so far. He's moved up to P6. Advanced by moving down to P7. All the guys having a lot of slips and slides, and the cars is just super understeery, as we can see out here. Abdul's moving many more positions, so he's got a lot of work to do. Dan's in P11, qualified in P12. So that's the order at this point. I think Hershey's is pretty much sorted. As long as he thinks he can maintain, I think he's good to go at this point. Let's just stick with Bridget moved up to win P3. I'm so sorry about that fumble. And Flash and Bridget having a bit of a battle here. They're not going to make it easy for each other. Pretty much a drag race at this point, as we can see out here. But despite having the inside line, will Bridget think about a move? No. Flash breaks late, slams the door shut. Bridget making a bit of a compromise, and look at that, you can see them slide and how, but look at it, in just 2 seconds, Bridget in P4, and Flash just about going wide as well. Bridget will make the most of it with the doors open, but the guys from P3 onwards are almost 6 seconds behind, so quite a lot of action between the guys in P3 and P4. All the guys really struggling for grip here, so I'm not sure if it's a case of cold tires or it's just that these conditions are just requiring more, as the admin mentioned. Flash moves up back into P3, so definitely the cars and the tires with the toe behaving in a certain way, as Bridget is now under attack from Modi Guarantee. Modi Guarantee's had a splendid start so far, and he loves these street circuits. As Bridget fights back, this is only going to open more doors for Modi Guarantee. Does he think about making a move? He does think about it, but Bridget somehow holds back. Flash is compromised heavily in the process. Oh, and a bit of a slide there for Abdus and Advancify at the back, but Bridget moving back up into P3. Let's just stick here with these guys because Vishal, Flash and Modi all are backing it out at this point. So a lot of action here as we're noticing, and to be able to manage all of this is a bit of a challenge. I'm not going to lie, the guys are not making it easy for me. 16 lap race. It's just been 2 laps, but the actions have been scintillating, and at the back again, the guy's really struggling for grip. So I think the more you battle, the more it becomes intense. As Flash trying to avoid, was sitting at P3 at one point, is now moved down to P6. As Duki also is picking his way back up from everyone else. Is under attack from Askas. Now will Askas think about making a move? Let's just stick with Askas. No, he's also having to defend from Abdus, holding on to that inside line. I think the more you avoid battles, the more you put yourself in a position where you can just sort of set some rhythm. As Duki lines up that move on Flash, and the guys behind will also want to be in Duki's toe. So Flash somewhat on the back foot at this point now. And as they go inside, up to thinking about a move. Oh, Duki's been compromised, but Duki just about slides and holds it there. That push to pass. They tried, but it didn't work. And I'm sure that'll come to the Stuart Road. A Flash just about had a moment, and compromising Askas. He will not be happy with that at all. As Advanced I will want to pick up on Flash at this point. So Flash is really not getting the move that he was hoping for. Wow, I think now we're going to get into a stage where everyone's going to pick up and get into a state of rhythm. Askas will not be happy with that, and followed by Dan and Coldified. So look at that gap by Hershey's. Wow, he is absolutely flying. Just about a second and a half from his quali lap. So that is scintillating pace there, to be about 4.5 seconds of Rahul by the end of pretty much the end of 3 laps, and even Rahul with 3.2 seconds. So these guys clearly have figured it out. Bridget there with holding on to P3, having a decent gap of about 1.4 seconds. Vishal is coming under attack from Modi Guarantee, so Modi Guarantee is just closing. Look at that, he's gaining almost about half a tenth to a tenth with every corner. Vishal came clean, Modi all over the rearview mirrors, as we see some action at the back as well between Duki and Abdus. So these guys are batting it hard as well, and Duki somehow holding it. It will not be easy for Abdus to make a pass on Duki, but let's just stick here with Modi Ki Guarantee, who's just about a 10th, and he's got decent. He thinks about making a move down the inside, sort of creates a dummy, but just about decides the better of it. Look at that, sliding all over. Oh, and just a bit of a graze there. Will he make a move down the inside? I am not so certain. Let's just stay on Modi Gandhi as he loses a bit of ground here to sorry, he loses a bit of ground there to Vishal. So I think the top 5 now sort of finding a bit of rhythm as Modi Gandhi breaks as near as he can, pulling off overstepping there. We've got some action brewing up at the back between Flash and Advancify, so seems that maybe some potential penalties incoming for Flash. He just about slides that rear end, just not giving him enough traction. Look at that, Advancify immediately on the charge. As you can see that the action is just intense, and you can see that the dirty air does sort of compromise their entries in a certain way. So somewhat now the grid bunching up and forming a straight line at this point. Oh, I'm so sorry. It seems like Abdus and Duki having their own battles. As yeah, it's and even up front we've got Modi Gandhi making a move on Vishal there. So a lot of action happening at the front and at the back, and Vijit somehow is losing a lot of ground. Modi Gandhi going really defensive on that corner, ensuring that these guys don't lose ground. So maybe, just maybe, what we're looking at is, wow, I mean, Hershey's with that superb gap, and a little bit of bump draft now taking place between Modi Gandhi and Vishal. So I think they just know that they need to work a little more smartly here. And I'm just having to like constantly switch as Abdus has made a move on Duki. Duki fighting aggressively to ensure that he's right there with him, as Advancify also is holding on to Flash there. So a lot of action, guys, and too many things happening at the same time here. So Hershey's almost just by about like 7 to 8 tenths. Abdus holding on to the inside line, thinks about making a move, but Duki with that superb move from the outside claims P6 back. So I think racing lines over here are one thing, but I think track conditions probably demand the racers to be a little more aggressive, a little more adventurous, and try out something new. Let's just be here as Modi Gandhi lines up a move on Vijit to take up P3. And what has happened out here? Vijit is just simply falling at the back here. And what is it? Is it a case of tires? Let's just have a look at what's happened here. So that's interesting. That's really interesting. A lot of action taking place here. A lot of battles taking place. Let's just quickly have a look at what the tire scenario is. Is it possible that the guys are on different tires? So no wonder Hershey's has built such a strong gap, is because he's on the sports softs. Rahul's on the mediums with a healthy 5-second lead. We've got Modi Guarantee also on the mediums with Vishal also. So Vijit falling behind, who's also on the mediums. And Duki has moved up to P6 as well. With a lot of action. I'm sorry, I'm just repeating that because I'm just falling short of words with the amount of battles that are taking place out here. I'm just thinking about making a move down the inside, compromising Advancify, a bit of a nudge to Duki. Duki somehow holding that line and managing to hold on to P6 there. So Flash, so I think everyone except our leader at this point is on the mediums, and likewise a lot of interesting battles taking place now. Guys are sort of keeping it well behaved for sure, but nevertheless it's all clean. Modi Gandhi definitely has it figured out. Still about 2.5 seconds behind the fastest lap there set by Hershey's. Vishal thinking about a move. Some action of Duki being as defender, he clips the wall over there, just about compromises his exit. Will Abdus try and make the most of it? We will find out in a moment's time. But Advancify seems like he's falling behind, and Flash somehow has gained ground on him. Abdus lining up a move with Duki. Not an ideal scenario to maybe dive down the inside over here, as a little bit of action between Vishal, as Vijit thinks about diving down the inside, and he does so, makes a clean move on Vishal, and reclaims P4. So as some action has taken place at the back as well. Abdus thought about a move. I think he's compromised Duki here, and Duki somehow holding it off Flash. Flash having a battle, so non-stop battles for 6 laps, and it's been relentless. Duki somehow building a bit of a gap, and I think Flash somehow out compromised there. Let's have a look at that. Takes us 1 lap behind. As you can see over here, as advanced by just about slides off, and that is what we wanted to capture out here. So that seems like somehow the refueling markers are coming in. So clearly the battle of P6 is intense. Duki decides to go into the pits. Advancify, Abdus, they all decide to stay out. Bridget also enters the pits. So we're just going to quickly ensure that we're only on to race info now. Where is our leader? Look at that, 12 seconds. My God, I think an insane lead that our leader has at this point. Rahul holding on to that 5-second cushion, Modi guarantee, somehow finding some sort of rhythm. Abdus has moved up to P4, so that's been a bit of a jump, of course, with the pit stops taking place, but he will now want to ensure that he makes the most of the clean air and rakes in some consistent laps. Advancify is under pressure from Flash at this point, as he is well in the toe. Flash thinking about making a move here. Will he dive down the inside? Thinks about it, but Advancify is just about shutting the doors on him, and he gets a clean exit as well. Askas has moved up to P7, so he'd like to be there for a while. Dan's moved up to P8. The guys who fit, Vishal's moved down to P10. Not sure what happened, if he's fit or seems like with the way his overtake is happening, it seems like he's also fit, and Bridget's also moved up right behind. So Coldified will not be happy with that, but he has no option. The special tire, special traction, ensuring that these guys don't see Bridget, and Vishal will want to make sure they gain a good amount of ground on the guys up front. To stick here with the guys backing it hard for P4, P5. Bit of rhythm, but Advancify, we all know, is super aggressive. Advancify will, with the least amount of space, try and send it as much as he can, using that sweet spot of picking the best possible slipstream, and will want to make sure that he sort of gets a jump on Abdus. But Abdus, we all know, is really good with his defense as well. Trying to break that toe as much as he can now. Will Advancify decide to make a move? Are we going to see any more pit stops? It seems like Modi Gandhi also looked like he is entering the pits. Yes, so Modi Gandhi also enters the pits. As what's happened here? Abdus just about grazing the wall, and Advancify now moves up to P3. So action all around. Askas also jumping into the pits. Modi Gandhi also managing to save some fuel. Will the undercut work over here? Let's just stay with Vijit, as he is just about to exit and battle with Vijit. I'm not entirely sure, as Modi moves into the socks, and yes, the undercut has worked. Vijit has managed to reclaim that position. Modi guarantee still though is ahead, even though they are cold tires, but they are soft. So Duki Atma not really being able to capitalize on that. We're just going to go back, because the battles between these three have been non-stop, and Abdus has been in the thick of it all throughout. Now, will Abdus decide to make a move here? He is definitely got a good amount of toe. I think he is bumping Advancify as much as he can to build a little bit of a gap between himself and Flash. He makes a move down the inside. He will want to keep it clean, and yes, he does. Now, will he be able to make it stick? Apex 1 held cleanly, Apex 2 held cleanly, and now this particular bit, yes, so it's kept it clean. Advancify with a bit of a slide will immediately come under pressure from Flash now. So I think the tire wear now come into play, and Abdus somehow has picked up a penalty in the process. This will not be good. You do not want to pick up a penalty in a track where momentum is key. So this will not help Abdus, and I'm pretty certain that soon, if Advancify doesn't make any mistake, will eventually get the jump on Abdus here. So we want to just be patient, keep it clean, and ensure that he doesn't make any mistake in the process. What's happening down at the back? Oh, qualified just about clipping the wall. Memory guarantee is in P8. Vijit has managed to jump Vishal as well, so he's moved back up to P6, 52 seconds behind the leader, and he's clocking in purple sectors. So that's a good sign for him. That'll be encouraging. Now, you see anyone enter the pits? No, so these guys do decide to stay out, and likewise with the leader as well, who also manages to stay out. So not sure, but we're halfway into the race, so I'm assuming that maybe in a lap or two Hershey's will want to enter the pits. Abdus moving on P2 courtesy of Rahul entering the pits, but with that penalty Abdus will soon be vulnerable to the likes of not only Advancify but even Flash. That's where the penalty comes in now. Has Abdus done enough to defend the position? I don't think so. Flash will also want to make a move down the inside, and yes, Flash does so in the process. And just like that, Abdus, yet again, who was in a good spot, falls 2 places. And with that momentum now, will want to gain some sort of positions back, but Advancify will want to also ensure that he is not on the attack. So yes, I think the guys, if you're being able to take advantage of the clean air, it works for you. If not, then you're immediately in attack. And now, are we going to see a move here? Is Abdus going to think and be adventurous and claim 2 positions back? Managed to claim 1. He is making a move. Oh, Advancify with the inside line. Will he go get a penalty? Oh, that was close. And Abdus, just like that, has managed to secure P2 back again. That was simply sensational. We need to have a look at that once again. Let's just have a look at that. Here's Abdus making a move down the inside, and here he is. Oh, he gets a bit of a nudge there from Flash, so that's what sort of helps him secure P2. I thought he had a clean exit, but just like that, he's ensured that he's managed to keep it to P2. So, and just like that, our leader is also in the pits. Now, will Abdus also decide? I think looking at the fuel and tire levels, Abdus will also want to be in the pits, and likewise, I think all 3 of them. So Abdus, Flash, Advancify also in the pits. Now, Vijay is just 21 seconds behind Advancify. He will want to make sure that he gets out cleanly. So Hershey's has managed to clearly jump the grid. Now, we're going to be here with Vijay at this point. He's in P5. He just might get a jump on all 3 of them here. Slides on the exit. And look at that. Vijay has managed to make a jump. Rahul moves back up to P3. Vishal is up in P4. Dukhi, I'm sorry, I don't know what's happening, but Dukhi's moved up to P5. Modi ki guarantee has moved up to P6. Abdus, Flash, Advancify have all fallen down as Qualified enters the pits, as Dan is right at the back in P12. So let's just stay here with these guys, because even though fresh tires, these guys have missed out big time. So we've had a clear shuffle in the grid now. Hershey's with a healthy lead of about 12 seconds on Vijay, who's also built a nice 2-second cushion for himself on Rahul. I'm not sure what's happened here with Rahul, but let's see if he can catch some action here. I don't think so. So no, I don't think we'll be able to catch any action here. Apologies for that, friends. We'll get some of that action a little later. But Dukhi is absolutely flying, and he is gaining a good amount of ground here. So seems like Dukhi's figured something out, but this lap times by Vishal definitely looking good, and Dukhi braking as late as he can. For a second it looked like he might just run into Vishal there, but just about holding it clean. Maybe he's sort of falling back. Something's just not working for him over here, as Flash also has managed to jump on Abdus. So I think the battle that these three had, it didn't really play out for them, and it somewhat compromised their line. So we're just gonna be here with Vishal and Abdus, as we can see that. Oops, sorry about that. Stay here. Look at that, max them. I know that, just like that. Duki making it a clean pass there on Vishal. Let's have a look at that. Duki breaking late, gaining ground on Vishal there. And I think Vishal just didn't have the kind of exit that he was looking at. You can see the speed difference very clearly out here. And on lap 10, just like that, as we are with Duki at this point, Duki chases him, stays within the toe, and just in that manner, with a cleaner approach, with a nice long run, clocking purples there. He had already made up his mind that he is going to make that move on Vishal anyhow, as we see this replay. Takes us quite some behind, and Vishal just had a little bit of a compromise exit there, and that is how Duki made the jump. No wonder it seemed like he ran through and just simply jumped. And Duki, look at that, wow! Duki was almost a second fast, so seems like he's figured something out. And what's happened here? Hershey's is losing time drastically, so it seems like he's made a mistake somewhere. And Duki is now right on the attack with Rahul, who also is on a similar strat, but I think Duki just somehow figured out that maybe a little bit of less fuel, he might just be able to attack. And Duki is now right within the tail, so similar section that we're seeing where he plays his move on Vishal. Duki is on fire here. The winner of last night's race is just about going to make a move. Now, will Rahul be able to defend? I am not so sure. It seems like Rahul is going to be vulnerable here, holding down the inside, and will Duki break late? No, Duki thinks the better of it. Forces Rahul a little wide. Now, in this, will he be able to make it stick? Yes, but Rahul's just about doing enough to ensure that he holds on to that. As Modi Guarantee has also made a move, so Vishal now falling at the back. Duki will want to make that move soon on Hershey's. Rahul, but look at that, the gap to Hershey's is falling drastically. And Duki with a second leading lap, Duki makes a move on the inside, thinks about it, but just about stays out. So Duki is all fired up here, and he is definitely on the charge. Now will we see another fastest lap from Duki? No, so almost losing 7 times. Duki definitely has a pace, but for how long will those tires last? I think with what's happening with Hershey's at this point is that he's on the mediums. So no wonder there is that pace differential that we're looking at. Vijit's tires are also pretty much done. Duki at the back and make a move, and yes, he has. Just like that, he's made a move on Rahul. So let's just quickly catch that and see if we get that. Lining up. Oh, but this is going to be long. Duki moves up to P3. He is now going to be lining up on Vijit, and you can see that time is just dropping. Duki has about 4 laps to catch as much as 9.5 seconds. It's going to be a tall ask. He's just about grazed the wall, so he's absolutely on the limit. And you can see his tires are absolutely like shot out there. So now Duki under a bit of pressure from Rahul, and Rahul is not going to make it easy. Rahul is like, hey bro, where do you think you're going? I'm going to get back at you. And he's going to move down the inside, and oh, Duki's had a bit of a moment, and Duki somehow lost ground. But look at that, Rahul's gained heavily on Vijit. Vijit's really struggling here. So this might compromise Rahul. This might bring in Dukhi into the mix again. Rahul will want to make sure that he gets a jump on Vijit real soon. So we're just going to stick with Rahul at this point, who's clawed his way back. Pushed Dukhi right at the back there. And seems like the stewards have a bit of work to do tonight as well. Now will Rahul be able to make a move on the start finish straight? We're going to set up our markers for the replays right over here as we approach the start finish straight, where Rahul there just cleanly, so easily makes a move on Vijit, who will want to fight back. But we can also see that Modi Guarantee has made a move. So both set of drivers, look at the gap there between Modi Guarantee and Dukhi. So Dukhi, I think, just heavily compromised there, as we can see over here that Rahul pretty much over here makes a clean pass, and while we see that Dukhi's lost all the momentum coming to the start finish straight, and just like that has surrendered P4 to Modi Guarantee. So Dukhi at one point, who's looking like he might fight for P2, is now moved up to P4, and Rahul has jumped Vijay and moved up to P2, and is definitely gaining ground on Hershey's. So Hershey's with that 7.5 second gap, which is tumbling pretty quickly, and Rahul is absolutely flying now. So I think Rahul's got the performance at this point. Vijay, as you can see, his tires are pretty much cooked. Likewise with Dukhi. Modi's got slightly fresher tires, so he's definitely gonna try and attack. But at the same time, look at that, Vishal also saving his tires for the end. Is in a good position to attack Flash with a fresher set of tires. And likewise with these two, Abdul and Advancify. Will Advancify make a move down the inside on Abdul? He's close enough. Advancify might just sneak in. Now has Abdul compromised his entry here slightly? Advancify thinking about making a move down the inside, but just about make the better fix. So new move there. There's Rahul, Vijit, Dukhi, and Modi, and Vishal. I think P2 to P6 is still very much open at this point, but Rahul will be encouraged by the fact that he is gaining significant ground on Hershey's. Tall ask for sure, but definitely doable at this point. He is under immense pressure from Modi Guarantee here. Modi Guarantee also trying to hold on. Vishal quite behind, as we can see out here. We'll just be here with Dukhi and see how close is Modi. Gaining, but just having the brakes as a bit of a nudge there by Modi Guarantee. I think Dukhi just about trying to block that pass as much as he can. And Vijit now again is under pressure from Dukhi, so Dukhi will want to make sure that he gets a jump on Vijit as soon as he can, as Vijit is sliding all over the place. So that car is not in the best state now. Those tires screaming and begging Vijit to not push them anymore, as those socks pretty much look like they're done. As we can see, Rahul has gained. We're going to set up our markers here, and it looks like Dukhi will just about make that jump right about now, and yes, he has. Now will Modi Guarantee follow? Yes, he does. So Vijit losing a lot of ground at the back, and he's lost significant ground. He's lost 3 positions pretty much on that straight there. So Modi Guarantee moves up to P4. Dukhi sliding his way out of that corner, moves up to P3, and Rahul has brought that gap down to just 4.4 seconds, and it's still tumbling, it's still falling, but has Hershey's done enough at this point? we'd like to know from you guys. The gap is falling, and the gap is falling so significantly. Look at that, he's lost 4 tenths just to the concept of one corner, and it's just falling. Rahul is pushing as hard as he can. So he's again under attack from Modi Guarantee. So clearly the Millenials showing the Gen Z how it's done, and they're fighting hard at this point. Rahul is bringing that gap down, and how we're gonna be here with these guys in P3 as we keep a check on the gap. Oh, Modi Guarantee just about having a bit of a compromised exit. And let's just also look at Vishal, who is also now clearing Widget. So Widget's just sort of falling behind, and I think his tires are completely done. Duki Atma also has built a bit of a gap on Modi Guarantee, so a cushion that will help him out. I'd like to be here with Rahul now for the next set of laps, just to keep a check on, can Rahul really do something drastic and bring that gap down. Hershey's will be keeping a check on that screen constantly, and he will not be happy with the fact that that timing is dropping down. Now I feel the threshold for Hershey should be about 2.2 seconds. At the start of the lap, the gap was about 4.4 seconds. Hershey's just about doing enough, so I think on the straights, it's pretty much nullified. It's on the corners where Hershey's is struggling now. Has he saved his tires enough to ensure that Rahul can't catch him? And you can see, look at that, just like that, Rahul gains almost 3 to 4 tenths there. If he can keep his exits clean, he will gain ground. But Hershey, look at that, it's sort of making some ground back in the process. Duki and Modi Guarantee are battling it out, but Modi Guarantee has picked up, and he does not look happy at all. He's trying to make his car as big as he can to make that pass on Duki, and Duki will want to make sure that Modi Guarantee doesn't get the pass on him. So as we start the final lap, the gap's come down to 1.8 seconds. Oh my god, Rahul will sense a win here. Rahul will want to ensure that he does everything possible. This is Rahul's race to win and Hershey's race to lose. Some last lap drama that we're capturing at this point, guys. Are we going to see a change in the lead? Will Rahul be able to do enough to be able to catch Hershey's? Every corner is going to be tantalizingly painful for Hershey's, because you'll see it over here. Look at that, he just lost another tenth over there, and he somehow gained it back. So if Rahul can keep it clean, look at that, 1.2 seconds, 1.1 seconds, come down to just a second. Oh my god, look at that. If Rahul can be within the toe as they approach the long straight here, he is within, he's just outside slipstream range. He is just outside. He's gonna hate that, a second gap. But in terms of fuel, I think Rahul just got that little bit of extra fuel. Rahul's got a few corners. He's got a brilliant opportunity here at the hairpin to gain as much as he can and then make the most, because from there it's just about being in the toe and ensuring that just keep it clean. So Rahul keeping his entry wide. Look at that, Hershey's struggling so much there. As Rahul can keep it clean, yes he can. Half a second, we're going to be with these guys. Hershey's under attack. One lap, final lap, 3.5 tenths, come down to 3 tenths, 2.5 tenths. Hershey's will do everything possible. Can Rahul snatch the win? Rahul keeping it clean. He just has to be patient. He just has to make sure that he doesn't do anything rash. He thinks about move. He's nudged him. And he slows down. He will not like that. Hershey will not like that. Rahul slowing down, but just about keeping it clean. It's going to be a drag race here. Has Rahul done enough to snatch the lead? And keeping it clean. Hershey's just about does enough. Oh my god, that was Fabulous. What a drive there. Duki takes P3, Modi in P4, Vishal in P5. Vijit, can he hold P6 from Flash? No, just about loses it onto the track race. Vijit moves down to P7, Abdus in P8, Advancify in P9. Aska is just about wrapping it up onto P10. I've almost lost my voice here. Dan way behind in P11 and qualified, wraps up the grid in P12. What a supreme drive there by Hershey's. Rahul did everything possible there to ensure that he made life miserable. Look at the gap, just 100th splitting them. I think Rahul got a little desperate. Maybe, just maybe, he's ruining the fact that maybe just one more corner and he could have maybe beaten Hershey's to the line there. But a fabulous drive there by Hershey's to ensure that he secures the win. Rahul with a fantastic drive and a superb recovery drive to finish in P2. Duki finishing in P3. Superb recovery from him, from Modi, even from Vishal for that matter, finishing in P5. Flash P6. I hope for his sake he doesn't pick up any penalties. Vijit in P7. Abdus, who was looking strong at one point, finishes in P8. Advancify in P9. Askas in P10. Dan in P11 and Coldified in P12. With that, we complete round 2 of this epic Millennial versus Gen Z series. It has been fun, it has been supremely entertaining. Thank you so much guys for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. I mean, there was just so much action. I'm sure I missed out on a lot, but the guys really showing how it's done. Congratulations to our top 3. And thank you so much viewers for tuning in. Thank you so much for skipping quali and watching this. Truly appreciate that. Wishing you all a wonderful Sunday ahead and have a wonderful weekend. See you guys next week. Good night.